Good evening, everyone. I am Harriet Macy Macarine and I am with Ruli Clark Macoraya. We are the Chapter 18 reporters. We will discuss about Biarritz vacation and romance with Nelly Boustead. El filibusterismo finish in Biarritz, to Paris and back to Brussels, retirement from the propaganda movement, Rizal stopped writing for La Solidaridad and revising the Philly for publication. Rizal took a vacation in the resort city of Biarritz on the fabulous French Riviera to seek solace for his disappointments in Madrid. He was a guest of the rich Boustead family at its winter residence, Villa Eliada. He had befriended Mr. Boustead and his wife and the two charming daughters, Adelina and Nelly. It was in Biarritz where he had a serious romance with Nelly and finished the last chapter of his novel, El filibusterismo. With the Bousteds in Biarritz, February 1891, when Rizal arrived in Biarritz. He was warmly welcomed by the Bousteds, particularly Mr. Boustead, who had taken a great liking for him because of his remarkable talents. As a family guest, he was treated with friendliness and hospitality by Mrs. Boustead, Adelina, Nelly, and Aunt Isabel. The 1-month vacation in Biarritz worked wonders for Rizal. His sorrowing heat began to sing once more with joy, and his health improved with remarkable swiftness. Romance with Nelly Boustead. Biarritz, with its romantic gardens, delightful villas, and panoramic beauties, is an ideal setting for romance. Rizal, having lost his beloved Leonor, came to entertain considerable affection for Nelly, the prettier and younger daughter of his host. He found her a real Filipina, highly intelligent, and morally upright. He wrote to his intimate friends, except Professor Blumentritt, of his love for Nelly. As early as on February 4, 1891, Del Pilar teased him about changing the O in Nolly to an E, which means Nolly to Nelly. Antonio Luna, who had previously loved and lost Nelly, encouraged Rizal to woo and marry her. From Madrid, he wrote to Rizal saying, "With respect to Nelly, frankly, I think there is nothing between us more than one of those friendships, enlivened by being fellow countrymen. It seems to me that there is nothing more. My word of honor, I had been her fiancé. We wrote to each other. I like her because I knew how worthy she was. But circumstances beyond our control made all the happiness one cherished evaporated. She is good. She is naturally endowed with qualities admirable in a young woman, and I believed that she will bring happiness not only to you, but to any other man who is worthy of her. I congratulate you as one congratulates a friend. Congratulations." With the encouragement of his close friends, Rizal courted Nelly, who in turn reciprocated his affection. Unfortunately, their romance beneath the lovely Biarritz moon did not have a happy fairy tale finale. Rizal's marriage proposal failed for 2 reasons. First, he refused to give up his Catholic faith and be converted into Protestantism as Nelly demanded. Second, Nelly's mother did not like Rizal as a son-in-law, because Nelly's mother, like the mother of Leonor Rivera, had no wish to entrust her daughter's happiness to a man who was poor in material things, a physician without a paying clientele, a writer who earned nothing from his pen, and a reformer who was persecuted by the friars and government officials in his own country. Although they could not get married, Rizal and Nelly parted as good friends. When he learned that Rizal was leaving Europe, she sent him a farewell letter saying, "Now that you are leaving, I wish you a happy trip and may you triumph in your undertakings, and above all, may the Lord look down on you with favor and guide your way, giving you much blessings, and may you learn to enjoy. My remembrance will accompany you, as also my prayers. El filibusterismo finished in Biarritz. Frustrated in romance, Rizal found consolation in writing. While wooing Nelly and enjoying so many magnificent moonlight nights, he kept working on his second novel, which he began to write in Calamba in 1887. On March 29, 1891, the eve of his departure from Biarritz to Paris, he finished the manuscript El Filibusterismo. Writing to Blumentritt on that date, he said, "I have finished my book. Oh no, I have not written in it my idea of revenge against my enemies, but only what is for the good of those who are suffering, for the rights of the Tagalog race, though brown and may not have good features. Surely I will leave tomorrow for Paris, and from there, I don't know where I am going." To Paris and back to Brussels. March 30, 1891, Rizal bade farewell to the hospitable and friendly Bousteds and proceeded to Paris by train. He stayed at home of his friend Valentin Ventura on 4 Rue de Chitedum. From Paris, he wrote to his friend Jose Maria Basa in Hong Kong on April 4, 1891, expressing his desire to go to that British colony and practice ophthalmology in order to earn his living. In this letter, he requested Basa to advance him amount for a first-class steamer ticket from Europe to Hong Kong. By the middle of April 1891, Rizal was back in Brussels, where he was happily received by Marie and Suzanne, his landladies, and above all, by Petite Suzanne, the Belgian girl who loved him.
Retirement from the propaganda movement. Since abdicating his leadership in Madrid in January 1891, owing to the intrigues of his jealous compatriots, Rizal retired from the propaganda movement or reform crusade. He desired to publish his second novel to practice his medical profession, and late, when he became financially independent, he expected to make more vigorous campaign for his country redemptions. Owing to the intrigues of his jealous compatriots, Rizal retired from the propaganda movement or reform crusade. From Basiles on May 1, 1891, he notified the propaganda authorities in Manila to cancel his monthly allowance and devote the money to some better cause such as the education of young Filipino students in Europe. Rizal stopped writing for La Solidaridad. Simultaneous his retirement from the propaganda movement, Rizal ceased writing articles for La Solidaridad. Many of his friends in Spain urged him to continue writing for the patriotic periodical because his articles always attract considerable attention in European uh, countries. Marcelo H. del Pilar realized the need the need for results collaborations in both propaganda movement and in the La Solidaridad newspaper because enthusiasm for the reform crusade in Spain was declining. August 7, 1891, he wrote the Rizal begging forgiveness for minor resentment and requesting him to resume writing the La Solidaridad. In short, he said in his letter, "If you have any resentment, I beg you to put aside it aside. If you consider me at fault, and this fault is pardonable, forgive me. We would much like you that." resume writing for it. Not only would we strengthen La Solidaridad, but we defeat the friar intrigue in the Philippines. In his reply to Delfilar's letters, Rizal wrote denying innocent and explaining why he stopped writing for La Solidaridad as follows. I am extremely surprised at your letter, telling me about resentments, disagreements, and reconciliations, etc. I believe it is useless to talk about what does not exist, and if it has existed, it ought to have evaporated in the past. I think I think like you do, that there being nothing one ought not to waste time talking about it. If I stopped writing for La Solidaridad, it was because for several seasons. First, I need time to work on my book. Second, I wanted other Filipinos to work also. Third, I consider it very important to the party that there be unity in the world, and you are already at the top, and I also have my own ideas. It is better to leave you alone to direct the policy such as understand it, and I do not meddle in it. This has two advantages. It leaves both us free and it increases your prestige, which is very necessary in as much men of prestige are needed in the country. This not mean this not mean to say that I need to work and follow the course of your work. I am like an army crops who at needed moment you will see arrive to descend upon the flanks of the enemy before you. Only I ask God to give me the means to do it. I fight for the nation, the Philippines. Revising the field for publication. In Brazil's in Brazil's Rizal worked day after day, revising the finished manuscript of El Pilibrismo and redyed it for printing. Apparently, their vision was mostly completed on May 30, 1891. On this date, he wrote Josema Basa. My book is now ready to go to press. The first 20 chapters are already corrected and can be printed. I am recopying the rest. If I receive money, if I receive any money, you will surely have it in July. July. I am writing it with more ardor than Nolly, and although it is not cheerful list, it is more profound and more perfect. In case I do not receive money, will you ask them to send me money for printing my book? If not, I will be leaving this place and be with you. 2 weeks later, on June 13, results informed Basa. I am now negotiating with a printing firm as I do not know if it will be printed here, Belgium or Spain. I cannot send it to you as yet. In case it is not published here, I will send it to you by the next mail. Only 3 chapters are left to be corrected. It is longer than Nolly first part. It will be finished before the 16th of this month. If by chance anything happens to me, I leave its publication to Antonio Luna, including its correction. If my Noli it is not published, I shall board a train on the following day when I receive your letter when with the passage money. But if my book is published, I shall have to wait until it comes off the press. I am Rolly Clark McCoy, and that's all. Thank you.